accuracy. That's something I didn't know. Welcome back to our exploration of Deerford Village, where we had just arrived last time. Quite dramatic arrival. We arrived and immediately somebody asked us to go and find a woman in here who they were searching for. Supposedly she's a criminal, but I highly doubt that. We've also got tea for this journey. Obviously that makes every journey better. So let's have a look and see which quests we're looking out for here. So we've got this one, Blood Legacy. Lady Aelis Harrond has disappeared into the quiet town of Deerford. Lord Harrond is sick with worry for her and fears the townsfolk are intentionally keeping something from him. We need to go to the Dracagen Inn for that one. We've also got some other kind of, only slightly, well not slightly, but they're related quests to Deerwood. So I think we'll probably just come across those as we're going. We've got the Deerford Mill over there. Oh, there's the inn. There's a grieving mother over there. And, ooh, the Arms and Armory. Wimfrith's Arms and Armory. Definitely need to go and explore that. And an apothecary. Okay, let's go to the inn first. It's really fun exploring a new place in this game. You really never know what you're going to come across. Last time we were outside an inn like this, it kind of reminds me of where we first met Aloth. Speaking of Aloth, I've only just noticed he can level up. Who are these people? They look like they could be important. She's been missing for days. You people can't keep stonewalling us. Why do the guards suspect that the people are keeping her? You can't just barge into our homes. We told you she's not here. Something intriguing going on there. Let's see what we can find out in the inn. And also what we can get in the inn. Maybe we'll be able to get some new sort of sleep bonuses in here. I fancy this star.
To find her. Surely even you can understand that.
We're decent folk. My lord, perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
What's he suggesting? Okay, there's the lord. We just walked past somebody called Sid. Kind of want to talk to Sid. A redhead stands by the fire, tuning her lute and plucking its strings. She hums snatches of a melody as she goes. First time at the Dracagen. Normally, I'd have a song ready, but I haven't quite worked out this tune yet. I'm writing some chants about the founding of this inn. Say, you interested in the story? I haven't finished the chants, but I could tell you about it all the same. Actually, yeah, I would like to know the story of this inn. Oh, kind of like that. Oh, excellent. These rustic fables are always great fun. Let me get out something to write with. Okay. It was built in the time of Hadret's rebellion. An Aederan lady, Thainu, once had a keep here. One of the towers still stands, but the rest is said to be buried under the village. Anyway, she stuck to the side of the Empire, and a contingent of Duke Hadret's Knights of the Crucible helped the farmers and colonists in the area turn her keep to rubble. Oh dear. This inn was the first building that sprang up from the ruin, built with some of the same bricks the colonists had pulled from the Lady Thainu's castle. They say. Supposedly, the quarterstaff of her chief wizard even got lost in the construction, mortared into a wall or nailed under a floorboard. Oh, that's got to be something that comes back later. Anyway, the inn was supposed to be a haven and a meeting place while the locals built their new town. Okay, what do you mean supposed to be? Deerwoodens are an ornery lot, and the more these new neighbours met, the more they argued. They realised they didn't agree on much beside ousting the old lord. The biggest divide was over the Glanfarthans and their nearby ruins. Hadret's knights and their supporters wanted to keep the peace, but a group of misfits with more anarchic leanings than had formed in town wanted to go after the tribes the same way they'd gone after their lord. Oh, soon the villagers were fighting with each other as much as with the Aedirans. In the end, memories of the broken stone war and the War of Black Trees were fresh enough that the Duke's soldiers won the day. Most of the other villagers came around eventually, but some of the core troublemakers left to join the front lines of the War of Defiance, and others, I've heard, found their way into the Guided Compass, the most forward-looking of the Glanfarthan tribes. I don't know if I believe that part myself, but it makes a good story. Oh, intriguing. She points to the east wall. There's a portrait of one of the chief rabble-rousers and his rival in the peacekeeping faction. Someone's idea of a joke. Don't think they were particularly amused. Okay, we'll go have a look at that in a second, see if we can inspect it. Is this it? The portrait depicts a man and a woman dressed in Adir garb that would have been in style a century ago. The heavy frame has been battered and the plate that once bore the patron's name has been scratched out. They share a passionate embrace which seems at odds with the disgust on their faces. Yeah, it kind of looks like a typical romance book cover over there. I wonder if we'll get to find out more about those two characters. Eorn. Why, it's you. Yeah. Eorn. The name sounded familiar. Thank you, friend. You've given me another chance, and I mean to make the most of it. I've been telling everyone round here about how you helped me. Ah. You're welcome. That's nice. Maybe people around here will trust me more because of that. Hopefully. Okay.
How do you do?
Innkeeper. Dengler. The innkeeper digs inside a mug with a dirty rag. His eyes under his thick brows are tired but watchful. He gives you a quick nod as you approach the bar. Don't see many travellers these days. Something I can do for you? What was your exchange with that nobleman about? He looks up from polishing his tankard and glowers at the lord. Folk round here's decent. They mind their own business. You want to stick your nose in it? Go talk to him yourself. Okay, that wasn't the right question to ask him, though. I'd like to see what rooms you have, please. Make sure you close your window if you're on the side facing Triggle's shop. Why? And I don't need a nap, so let's go talk to the lord. The man wears a deer-style robe, simple but elegant. His fine leather shoes look like they were made for padding around indoors, yet they're caked with mud. He yanks at a lock of hair twined around his silk-gloved finger. His fine features are etched with anxiety. Okay, so he does seem like he's genuinely worried.
My child is out there. Do they not understand?
My lord, we're doing everything we can. Unfortunately, these villagers...
Beasts take them all. I don't care how you do it, but find her.
Your child is missing, I take it.
Yes, Lady Alice, my daughter.
He tugs at the fingertips of his
I've
gloves.
asked around, but nobody in this mud hole has any concerns beyond their swine. They turn my men away like beggars and seem downright pleased to be of no use. But you're not one of my soldiers.
I'm not.
And you look like you're used to getting your hands dirty.
I am.
If you don't mind my saying so.
Especially recently. His guard leans in. My lord, Heron raises a hand to silence the man. If you find her, he nibbles the thumb of one silk glove. Tell her I won't be upset with her. She can come back and all will be well. I just want to make sure my Alice, my child, is safe. Nothing in the world is more important to me. Okay, let's see if we can find out some more information about this. I'd like to ask a few questions about your
Yes.
daughter.
Of course.
Can you describe her? She's a striking young woman, bears more resemblance to her mother than to me. She has auburn hair and delicate, well-bred features. She must be, 28 or 29 now? Why is he not sure about She must be about 28 or 29, okay. Tell me about her disappearance. We'd stopped in Deerford for a few days. On our fourth evening here, I was making plans to continue our journey. Lady Alice was feeling unwell and went to bed. When I retired a couple hours later, I found that she had vanished. None of my men had seen her go, and no one at the inn knew where she was. Since then, my people have been combing the village, but we've yet to find a clue, and the locals have been no help. Okay. Why did you and Alice come to Deerford? It was merely a stop along the way to Aina's Rest. However, she took ill shortly before our arrival, so it seemed prudent to allow her a few days to recover. Okay, what's in Aina's Rest? He frowns as if about to protest, but he gives in with a sigh. Lady Alice has reached an age where it is prudent for her to marry. Given this legacy business, I can't let her fertile years slip by, nor do I want her womb to fester in the presence of so many Hollowborn. Okay, I think I might know where she disappeared. I can use my intellect or my survival here. Intellect to say it seems there would be more potential suitors in New Hyomar or New Yama. Or survival. There are better roads along the coast. Wouldn't it have been easier to follow them to Aina's Rest? Or where's the rest of your family? Surely they wouldn't want to miss your daughter's betrothal. I'm going to use intellect for this one. You think I haven't considered that? Arranging a suitable match is difficult. The best prospects for my child lay in Aina's rest. Okay, we can use the survival one as well, so let's try that one. If I'd thought that, I wouldn't be slogging through the forest, would I? He waves a hand. The main roads are clogged with people fleeing one way or another to try to escape Waidwen's legacy. It would be difficult for a caravan like mine to pass without incident. At the time, it seemed prudent to move quickly along the back roads. Something's fishy going on here, isn't it? Let's say, where's the rest of your family? Lady Harrond is ill-suited for travel, I'm afraid, and unfortunately Alice has few other close relatives. My sister and her husband, Alice's aunt and uncle, of course, have been visiting her dear these past months. He rubs his knuckles. As for siblings, Alice has none. My wife has only given birth to Hollowborn. Since Alice, that is. Okay. I see, but going back to your daughter... I've asked all of that. Tell me about yourself.
I'm Lord Nestor Harrond of Defiance Bay. My family has been prominent there since Imperial times. Our primary estate is on the outskirts of Brackenbury, but we have holdings in New Haomar as well.
Haomar is how you say that. Okay. Let's see if he's got anything to say about the innkeeper.
A small-minded man, just like the rest of them around here. I've been paying him an honest fee for board and bed, and yet he can't be bothered to stir himself to concern for my Alice.
I can use my perception here to say, actually, he seemed angry at you.
From these backwater villages take offense for sport. You have to but show up with a full coin purse, and they'll hear insult in the jingle of your step. They forget that Duke Hadret came from the privileged classes, as did all of the other earls and lords who financed the rebellion they're so proud of.
Okay, he's quite snooty, isn't he? This is why I'm hoping you can help. He tugs at a lock of hair again. I should have never trusted these people around my child. Wow. Okay, we need to search Deerford for information about Alice's disappearance. I'm going to try talking to the innkeeper again now.
Good day to you.
Yeah, so now we've now got, tell me about Lord Harron's daughter. He frowns and shrugs. His lordship says she up and went missing the other day. He wipes the tankard with his ragged towel, twisting it with swift jerking motions. I don't know any more than that. However, these lording bastards handle their affairs. Ain't no business of mine. These people do not like each other, do they? I can display my coin pouch and say perhaps you could make it your business, or I can use my perception to say you look agitated. Something about this doesn't sit right with you, does it? Yeah, that one. He slams the clean tankard down on the bar. Damn right it don't. That lord saunters in here like he's cut from cleaner cloth than the rest of us, and yet... He shakes his head. Look, I don't want no trouble from you or him or anybody else. I'm just waiting for him to tire of my ale and leave so things can get back to normal around here. This is the first time I've had a benevolent option. I can use benevolent too to say, I won't stand by and allow an innocent girl to come to harm. Help me find her. He leans on the bar and sighs. That girl, Alice, she was looking to disappear. You should have seen her, watching the door like a sheep at slaughter. All the same, she didn't hardly speak to no one. Only folk I see her talk to's Triggle. That was the person who owned the armory, wasn't it? He nods at the east window. His shop's by the broken tower. Bit of a hothead, that one. My advice is to let the matter drop. Like I say, it don't profit to dig around in other people's business. Okay, and let's go and explore this shop. I can't find it anywhere. I know. Find what? We'll talk about this later. Get back to the dyes. I'll take care of our customer. What's happening in here now?
Greetings.
A sturdy, broad-shouldered man wipes his hands on his slacks. He reeks of the same foul compound wafting from the vats, and his arms are stained with dye. You looking to purchase some leather? Maybe at some point, but not right now. What can you tell me about Alice Harrond? He shrugs, only that her father's men have been banging down doors and stirring up trouble looking for her. I never met her myself. Oh, that's a lie. That's strange. Dengler told me you two were acquainted. He watches you and smiles slowly. He doesn't miss much. What exactly did he tell you? He said she was looking for an escape. Her father's dragged her out here to get hitched to some backwoods noble. She wanted an escape, all right. And I was happy to give it to her. Well, okay, we're just getting straight to the confession. We snuck across the river a few nights ago for some private time. Come to find out, we weren't exactly alone. An ogre taller than Wimfrith's tail sprung out of the forest, and we were so lost in the heat of the moment, we didn't notice it until it was upon us. It grabbed Alice, and disappeared into the night before I could even pull my britches up. What? Seriously? Is he telling the truth? Okay. I can actually use my perception here to say, don't take this the wrong way, but this shop smells like an outhouse. Am I really to believe that a lord's daughter snuck into the woods with you? Okay, that's kind of rude, but... I'm slightly tempted still. Because I feel like this isn't the truth. Triggle scowls. Curb that clever tongue of yours. I'm afraid there's no right way to take that, stranger. Oh, sorry. I meant no offence. I'm just trying to find her. His eyes narrow. As I was saying, the ogre vanished with her. Probably took her to its lair, wherever that is. He measures you with his gaze. She could still be alive. I'm in no shape to go after her, but that Harren looks like he'd have coppers to spare for anyone who found her. He scratches his cheek, with fingers stained red and yellow. Others around here have seen the ogre east of town. Took most of Rumbald's pigs just the other day. If someone were to find it, there'd be a lot of grateful people in Deerford. He wipes a splotch of dye from his elbow with his shirt tail. Something else you need? I still don't feel like this is right, but I don't have any other option. I kind of offended him. But, okay, let's ask him, have you seen Nifra, an Orlan from Defiance Bay? Make it a point to keep out of other people's business. Okay, that's fair. Could he be keeping her locked away? Could be overthinking this. Maybe the ogre did take her. It just sounds like a very untrue story. Oh, look, here's the apothecary. Oh, potions and... Ow! Oh!
Well met, friend.
A young woman leans against a wagon. One arm and one side of her face are covered in bandages, with raw, rippled flesh showing underneath. A minty, tangy scent wafts from her dressing. She smiles painfully. Just ventured into town? I'm about dry on some of my stocks, but you're welcome to have a look-see. What happened to you? How did you get burned? She turns her face to the ground. By the flame, how bad does it look? Just say it. I know you'll tell me straight. I mean, it looks like it hurts. She laughs ruefully. That's a mighty soft way of putting it. I've been keeping an eye on a drake's nest east of town, at Deerford Crossing. The beast stayed just long enough to lay a clutch and moved on. Thank the Sky Mother it wasn't a full-grown dragon. She looks at her bandaged arm and grimaces. The fresh eggs are much more useful than the ones that get passed between merchants, or left in nests for weeks or more. And that clutch looked to be at its peak. Thought I'd see about getting an egg, but I didn't realise so many of them had already hatched. Or that young worms were so territorial. What's so special about these eggs? They're one of the strongest tonics known to Kith, if you leave out Carogolan, of course. Not saying anyone should take that. But dragon eggs are known to make Kith bold, purposeful. Some even think they'll protect from bioax. She shrugs. All I know is everyone's pining after potions made from dragon eggs. But the damn roads. Can't reach none of my suppliers, so I'm stuck with whatever I can scrounge up in the wood. Deercat, river reed, and the like. I could offer to get an egg. I don't really want to do that, though. I don't feel like I should steal a dragon eggs. I'll ask you about something else. I'm actually looking for a missing noblewoman. Oh, that lord's daughter? She was a new shade of green when I seen her the other morning. Chatting with Triggle she was, just outside his shop. She points at the crumbling tower. Oh, I can use my survival skill to say you're talking about morning sickness. Was she pregnant? She sighs. Aye, and worked into a state about it, she was. That girl was so sick she didn't even notice Triggle's stink. I offered her some herbs to take care of the problem. Thought it might save her some trouble with her old man, but she wouldn't have it. Ah, okay, this mystery's starting to unravel. Lord Harron said she was ill from travel. She laughs. That weren't no road sickness. Trust me, I know it when I see it. What do you think was wrong with her? She tugs at a bandage. No offence, but I hardly know you, and I'm not one for gossip, and I certainly don't want to cause the poor girl any trouble. Okay, well, thank you. I'm also looking for an Orlan named Nifro. I did see an Orlan lady headed into the Dracogen just the other day. She points across the road, a large building. Don't know what her name was, but she was acting real sneaky-like. Oh, okay. Do you know anything about an Ingwithan ruin nearby? Hard to throw a stone in the wilds without knocking over someone's sacred Aedra pillars. Smart travellers avoid them. But if you're really set on sightseeing, Beodmar could point you in the right direction. He keeps up the little temple in the northwest edge of town. Oh, okay, that's good. So actually, we've got quite a lot of useful information from Hendina, is it? So, I think I need to go back to the inn. I need to go and ask the innkeeper some more questions. Let's ask her what's wrong with the roads, in her opinion. A noise of disgust rattles from her throat. Brigands, looters, you name it. The gods may be hollowing out our babies, but it's grown folk. Folk? No, folk that's rubbing out the rest of us. We got experience for that.
Hail, traveller!
Oh, I can't ask him anything else. I wonder if I can see her room. It looks out from the east. Aha, I can look. The glass of this window is broken. Warped, knotted planks have been nailed over it. She definitely went out the window. She must have met him. Can't do anything else with that. How about if I sneak?
Let's see what lies this way.
Ooh.
Ready, Watcher.
Guildmaster's staff. Oh. Okay, a unique quarterstaff, two-handed. The staff is topped by an emerald green orb between two wing-like protrusions. The long, slender stave is banded and reinforced with gold casings. Okay, it's pretty cool. That's not what I was looking for, but
Sure.
it's still cool.
I'm here.
I mean, that obviously wasn't her room, was it? Maybe it was. I thought they'd have fancier rooms. I don't think anything else is going to give me a clue here, is it? Is this where her dad would be staying? Oh, who are you? The Orlan hovers by the window, peering out of it every few seconds. As you enter the room, she watches you carefully, her hand hovering over her stiletto. She cranes her head to peer behind you. Anyone follow you? Who sent you? Okay, this was much easier than I thought it was going to be to find her. Someone told me you were responsible for heinous killings in Defiance Bay. What are you talking about? Or I was just looking around. Or I can attack her and say I'm here to avenge the murdered children of Defiance Bay, but I don't think she did anything, so I'm going to tell her the truth. Someone told me she was responsible for some heinous killings. Let me guess. Is that someone named Medreth? She draws her stiletto. It's a lie, plain and simple. I got on the wrong side of his employers, and now he's after me. But if you're here to do his dirty work, I won't make it easy on you. Relax. I just want to hear your side of the story. What story? The Dominals came after me. I just happened to rob the wrong place. How was I supposed to know they'd already claimed it? Actually, she is a thief, but just like they are. She runs her hands under her hood and through her hair. It was an honest mistake. I'm just trying to survive now. And if you spoke with Medreth, you know that where he's waiting. Please help me get out of here. Okay, I want to help her. I can lie and say head west towards the temple. That way is clear. I can tell her, go east. Medreth's waiting for you just west of the river. Or I can side with the Dominals. I don't want to do that. They attacked me earlier, so I'm not helping them. She nods slowly. All right, I'm trusting you. Don't have much choice. See if you can send him the other way. That should buy me some more time. She follows the hooded figures towards the stairs, giving you a final uncertain glance as she passes through the door. Again, not the thing that I was intending to do. No more secrets in here. But it worked out pretty well. We have a painting there of a forested ravine somewhere in the Living Lands. Okay, let's go and see if we can misdirect the men who are looking for her.
Certainly.
I was always going to side with her over them because they were just rude, honestly. They were suspicious and rude. I wonder if I can sneak into that guy's house and do I actually have high enough lockpicking skills for that? He's picking at a long blade of grass. Have I found her yet? I'm ready to get out of here. She snuck out the back of the inn and went north. Lie. He squints at you, pulling the grass into two flimsy threads. Did she now? And how would you have known that? Oh, I can't lie to him anymore because I would have needed resolve. Ah, okay. Just hoping you believe me. He draws his blade. Don't worry, I'll catch up to her right after I take care of you. I guess we're buying her some additional time by killing him. Okay, what have we got here? We've got a boar companion. We've got Medrith, and then we've got this cowled man over here. At least I lost less copper to bandits this time. I don't think anybody's got magic. Let's see if we can just take down Medrith. Unfortunately, Alos is at the front of the party, which was a mistake, so let's immediately get you over here, see if we can knock him down. And we'll set the pets on him. She's got her extra vicious wolf now. I'll see if I can get hobbled. And Sagani can do marked prey, which should allow us to get a bit extra damage on him. Gonna see if I can get Alos to move out the way a bit. Durance go right to the back, and hopefully they'll all shift correctly. Alos is not exactly moving backwards. My deer's sort of freaking out over there. Let's see if Durance will move and free the deer. There we go. Right. Now this one then. Alos just needs to stop being basically a tank. Actually, let's see if we can get him to move even further away, because move. He's just getting targeted. Okay, we need to target this one. And hopefully that distracts him from Alos. Or kill him in an explosion of guts. That works too. Well, now she definitely has to escape. She didn't want to kill him, but, you know, they didn't really have much choice. Actually, that's not true. I kind of did want to kill him. He wasn't very nice. What have we got over here? Oh, this is the thing. St. Ivan's Nut rewards plus 25% experience. I've never had this happen before. Okay, this is exciting. This is a stronghold action. Human legend holds that St. Ivan, or Ivan, created a miraculous knot that the faithless could not untie. A daring burglary recently cleaned out the myriad precious relics in the Smith's Hall of Imirgal, where each treasure once stood. A string was tied, each leading back to an intricate knot in the centre of the temple. The burglar left a tantalizing clue in the form of a written prayer to St. Ivan, but the riddle has stumped the locals. Desperate to recover their artifacts, priests have reached out to mercenaries and adventurers for help. Okay, I can assign this. Ooh. Okay, yeah, let's do it. I hope she's going to be okay with that. I haven't even used her yet. But I really want to try it out. Okay. We've done it now, so we'll see what happens. This middle-aged peasant woman is dressed in a brown leather cloth draped down to her knees. Her hands are working at separating stringy, colourless vegetables in a pile before her, stripping the heads off the long, fibrous stems with a paring knife. She discards the stems one by one, placing the heads of the vegetables onto a small, cradle-like basket in front of her. She doesn't greet you as you approach. You're not sure she even knows you're there. Excuse me? The woman doesn't respond. She keeps stripping the heads from the vegetables with a steady rhythm. She may be deaf. There's no inclination that she heard you. No indication, that she heard you. I'm going to study her. At first glance, she seems nothing more than a middle-aged woman. unremarkable, maybe less stern than most, who seems more focused on the weaving in her lap than her surroundings. Yet you suddenly notice she's not stripping the vegetables before her any longer, she's weaving, and the vegetable pots are now missing. She still pays you no mind, her brown locks torn and snagged from the lack of washing, like many of the townsfolk you've seen. There's a strange blur to her. Even the motions of her hands seem to be playing with threads that lack colour, in a shape that lacks interest. It may be that she is half-minded or deaf, but something feels wrong. As you watch her knitting takes on an odd cadence, and you have a terrible suspicion that something lurks beneath what your eyes are showing you. Continue to focus on her. Her brown hair is long, almost impossibly to the length of her hands. As you follow the streams of her locks downwards, the hairs become long and black, splitting off into threads of black and silver and wrapping around her hands. She is forming a soul cradle with the threads, braiding a net in front of you, each finger long and sharp like a series of knitting needles, almost hypnotic. The silver and black strands of her hair weave together, with silver predominating as a highlight, the black shadowing it. This is a lot more intriguing than I expected. And suddenly you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table lying beneath a clear sky, and beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest hazy with mist, although whether it is actual mist or distance or a recollection. Resting in the curve of a natural arc above you is a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention, as if looking down on you and the event unfolding before you. The plateau has soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied, but you feel your body. Your physical contours have changed, along with the surroundings, and you hear a soft series of chimes, like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains colour and texture, as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts, like mist roiling softly into a sealed chamber. And focus on the chimes. The chime coaxes you deeper into the memory, and you're certain it is a memory, a warm one. You are on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground, silver, white, shimmering like Adra. The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, and your hands. Your hands are in motion, weaving, not thread, but gathering tenderly, moving along the first movements of Bereth's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child, and you can feel the crowning of a tiny head turning in your grip, its head slick, wet from the womb. The hands you are wearing, inhabiting, have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a stream of fluid from the womb helping the newborn slide forth, and a woman's laboured breathing crying out. Okay, focus on the child, the movement of your hands. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear, cutting through the haze of memory. You cannot see where they are coming from, but they are close, and they are meant as a comfort. Of that you're certain. Draw the child forth, and coaxed by your hands, every movement causing the chimes to sound again. Almost eagerly the child comes forth, and as it does, your hands are in motion, weaving, moving along the length of a soft wet rope. No, an umbilical cord from the legs of the naked woman before you. You're holding a small child, still wet from the womb before you. The child cries out, its full cry of life, full of soul, the ringing of chimes echoing in its thoughts, filling it with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing a soul from within a soul, but it is there, it is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at her first cry, her hands reach out for it. Surrender the child? You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as your hands move, the chimes echo the movement, and you realize the chimes are hanging from cords on your wrists, and where once they echoed in the memory, they are now echoing in the child's mind as well. The chimes are intended to welcome the child, to be its first gentle greeting into the world, a soothing sound guided by the tender motions of your wrists. You are helping to weave its thoughts, its perceptions, and the experience. The experience. The woman laughs with ragged joy, laughing from a parched throat. Her emotions seem soothed, but the physical demands of labor have left her exhausted. But the child is here. The child is safe. And all atop the plateau is peaceful, calm, distant, flattening out as the memory persists. Okay, pull back and retreat from the memory. Wow, that was strange, but with effort the scene bleeds of colour and your mind becomes your own again. There is no pull, no anchor, yet the sound of the chimes remains, as they existed in the memory. They sound here as well. They are hanging from the woven braids on the wrists of the woman before you. Even as your head is spinning from the touch of her mind, the sound of the chimes on her wrists is sharp and clear, as if coaxing you back to the real world. The woman still sits before you, but she is nothing like what you first saw. She is wearing black, shredded garments that drape over her form like streamers. Her hair is streaks of black and run through with silver. Her age is almost impossible to tell. She simply feels old, like a crumbled watchtower. As she lifts her head to face you, you see that her hair is draped across the front of her face like a veil. What you first saw of her was a mental glamour of some sort, unconscious, and you realize that what you see is not what the world sees, and you are perhaps the first to see her true self. Still, you don't sense a threat in the realization. If anything, you feel a sense of relief from the figure. You can hear her thoughts, and she is glad at last to be seen. What is she? Who are you?
I am seen, but the eyes of others do not remember. You were the first to see me as I am, the call stripped aside.
Okay. There's a light touch on your mind, a caress, and her left hand mirrors the motion of the touch, reaching up to the air between you. You hear the chime on her wrist sound softly. Her hand moves as if pantomiming, resting on your cheek at a distance, and she speaks softly and slowly.
Your memories. A cadence of wheels on a caravan track. Fever. Questions by running water. Violence in a night's campfire. Arrows in the dark. And fleeing. Falling rock and cracking stone. And a storm. The storm.
Yeah, the storm.
The storm that brushed you. Did its screaming wake you from your mind's cradle? Your memory of it is painful. Its cry is difficult to ignore. It's like a child. Many children crying out.
Yes, I encountered Biowac and it did something to me. Her hand withdraws shyly, the chimes sounding softly once again. The woman stands uncertainly as if she's been sitting for some time, or is too weak to bear her own weight. You notice her cheekbones are tight, her face gaunt. Yet while her stance is weak, she seems determined to stand before you.
You are able to see me.
It is almost a question. You suddenly realize she doesn't seem to know what you saw when you looked at her, the image on the plateau. Yet the image was so clear, so sharp, you're surprised she didn't feel you there.
To see me is a rare gift. A watcher's gift.
Yes. I'm not a cipher, so I can't do that one. But I can say I've never been able to do that with a living person except with you. Or how was I able to enter your dream? Or was I helping a woman give birth? I was in your head and hers. Well, you said you could hear a storm in my thoughts. What do you know of the soul storms? Okay. I'm going to say this one because I want to know if she'll tell me what's different about her.
So many questions, thoughts, swirling like storm winds. That storm still roars through you, deep beneath your thoughts, yet muted and secret, like an underground river. I cannot tell if it is carving new channels or eroding what keeps your true strength buried.
Oh,
The
well,
fact
that could be a good
you
thing.
hear it at all, survive it, is something few have ever done. Your power will grow stronger with each soul you touch, as it allowed you to reach out to mine.
Oh. There is a silence, and although it seems to last for but a heartbeat, in your thoughts it stretches out between the two of you, like a pull between your minds. You blink, take a breath, and when you realize she wants to ask you a question, yet can't form the words, as if assembling them is painful, or there simply are not enough pieces. Oh, you can ask, do you wish to travel with me? Okay. Do you wish to travel with me? You feel a wave of fear, gusted with the strength of relief, although oddly, her expression does not change. Then fear dissipates and you feel strength and certainty, as if the plateau from her memory lies beneath you, and a calm sky looks down upon you. Yay! Ah, she's a cipher. Level 6. What are we? We're all level 6 too. Okay, perfect. Yes. Definitely want her. Oh, learn of the grieving mother's past. She's such a cool new character. I really want to put her in the party, but in whose place? I might need to go away and do some research about ciphers to see where she fits and what exactly she can do first. Okay, actually, I think that leaves us on an excellent moment, an exciting moment for today. Our initial exploration of Deerford Village has been pretty successful. The only thing that we're still not able to do is find the nobleman's daughter, but I feel like I'm at least kind of on track with that one. We've helped to rescue the Orlan woman. We've got a new person for the party, which is extra exciting. And also, I like this place because we've discovered some cool attributes for resting and some different things we can buy. I also do need to rest up a bit next time, so we can actually stay in the Green Dragon, yeah, dragon themed inn. So that'll be fun too. Thank you so much for joining me on this first adventure into Deerford. If you want to find out what happens next, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. And I'll see you soon. Bye.